What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Negative, and welcome to my first official Dokkan video. Alright, so today I wanted to cover some 10th year anniversary stuff, being that we're in that time, and the 10th year anniversary is out in a couple of days. I think we're officially a week out. So I thought I could do a fun video trying to cover what my picks would be for our 10-year anniversary map. Now, what I wanted to cover first is this screen right here. An important thing to remember for the theme and to kind of help illustrate my picks and choices is this screen right here. During the live stream, they were talking to us about the theme of this celebration. Miraculous power, born from the strongest duo, Dokkan Fest, and family and rivals, Carnival. Now with this, it kind of helps me narrow down what picks would make the most sense and what I think would be most logical from the devs. I want to start by first looking at this secondary slide that they put here. Now, this is the first time ever in all of the 10 years of Dokkan that they've done something like this where we're getting not 4 new LRs, but 6, which is diabolical. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy. It's year 10, go big or go home, right? So, with this, obviously, if you haven't seen the stream, I'm going to show you guys some stuff real quick. The first unit that's coming out is going to be an LR Vegito, but it's not just Vegito. It's going to be a Goku plus Vegeta that transforms in some form or fashion. Now, to zoom in here, we did actually get a new image of the tag, or I believe the official term is reversible icon. I believe that's what that tag is. But yeah, so that's going to be the Dokkan Fest. And then the 2 carnivals for part 1 is going to be a Super Saiyan 4 Goku and a Evolution Blue Vegeta. Now, specifically, this Goku is going to be a Super Saiyan 3 that transforms at some point, and this seems to be some kind of unit super attack, it looks like. So, I'm going to give you my 3 picks for the Part 2 LRs, and then we're going to kind of break down why I picked those and what the rest of the roadmap looks like. Now, I think it would make the most sense and would be the most hype if we got Vegito's counterpart, Gogeta. Now, I don't know if we wanted to do an exact opposite, kind of like they did before, where instead of it being a Goku turning into a Vegito, it's going to be a Vegeta turning into a Gogeta. Obviously, they would have that same swap mechanic. Or in my head, that would make sense. You know, we don't want it to be redundant, but I think a Vegito and Gogeta celebration for Part 1 and Part 2 would work well. They're the most hyped characters. It also kind of reflects year 3. I think it makes the most sense to me. Now, it will cause a little bit of trouble with the roadmap, but like I said, we'll get into that. And keeping in mind, the theme is Miraculous Power born from Strongest Duo, so it's got to be a fusion. Now, the other being family and rivals. If you come back over here, my second and third pick for part 2 would be a Goku Frieza in 17 and a father-son Kamehameha. I don't think anything else represents this family quite like this, unless you're talking like Broly movie trio. But, you know, we just had a Broly movie celebration, so that's obviously not coming. Now, I know this might be an interesting pick. There could have been a lot of things that gone here, but let's pop open the roadmap to explain my reasoning. So, out here, I don't know if you guys saw this, but they did give us this giant panel of different roadmap units. And it'll say down here, this is going to include new units and units that can be easy aid or super easy aid. So, with that in mind, you know, I've kind of set this up like that. So we're going to come down here to Dragon Ball. Now, Dragon Ball is by itself. There's no other images. So in my head, there can only be one pick and one pick only. And that's Kid Goku. Now, you're going to see I put free to play on the video. I feel that, you know, Kid Goku definitely could get his own summonable LR. I mean, he's worth it. He's one of a kind. It would make sense for family and rivals. At this moment, he comes in to save Piccolo, or not Piccolo, excuse me, Tien. You can see him laid out in the back, sprawled out anyway. But I feel this is year 10. We got to go big, and Gogeta as a partner, or I should say somebody to put the part 2 on their back. Gogeta makes more sense than Kid Goku to me. However, Kid Goku definitely is going to show up in some form or fashion, whether it's an Easy A, Super Easy A, or a free LR. Now, I always see that in a lot of these yearly celebrations, they'll have a really good free-to-play unit, or a free-to-play unit that reflects the new mechanics, so that the free-to-play players can at least have somebody that can do it. Now, I'm not sure if Kid Goku would have the same tag mechanic. I would like to say so, but we'll have to see. But I for sure think that this guy is going to show up some form or fashion in the 10th year anniversary. Now, moving on to Dragon Ball GT. We've got to say this guy's so hype. So hype. Alright, so there's a 100% obvious pick for this. Some people might be like, oh, it's got to be Vegeta. No. Get out of here. This is going to be the Easy A of the Year 7 LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Hands down, 100%. The Year 5's got their Easy A. The Year 6 got their Easy A. So Year 7 is next to the plate. There's no better time to do it than Year 10. These guys are going to be cracked. These guys were cracked when they first released. There's no shot that these guys don't get an Easy A. And since there's only 2 slots, it has to be this. So RIP to all of us, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta fans, but he's in there. At least he's in there, right? Alright, so moving on from GT, we've got Saiyan Saga. Now, I think this is also another 100% chance on this. You can call me out, blast me in the comments if you want. But I think we're going to get Easy A Kaioken Goku and Easy A Tech Grade 8 Vegeta. It felt like an odd pick at the time, but they were still hype. I feel like they could have been their own celebration, but hype as hell. Super hype. Yeah, no way these guys don't get their Easy A as well. It's around that same time, so it just makes the most sense. Being that there's only 2 picks, these are the biggest names in there. And I don't foresee them heading a part 1 or part 2. They could head a part 3 where they Easy A, I can see that, but nothing beyond that. I think these guys are well deserving, and it's about time that they got their Easy A anyway, because they're really not that great as of now in the new current meta, especially with the power creep that's coming. So moving on from them, getting into Namek Saga. Now you're going to see a trend here. We're getting 2s, all right? I know this guy was by himself, but he's not actually. We just have to get there. So with that pair of Year 7s, Part 2 Year 7, I think we're going to get worldwide Super Saiyan Goku and Full Power Frieza. These guys, it's going on a couple of years now since they've come out. This guy is still the only real legendary existence. He's the only real leader for that category. And it's crazy that we're getting an Easy A for him first before we get another one. Just saying. Yeah, it can't be anybody else. The Exchange Vegeta into Goku got their Easy A recently, and so did Gohan and Krillin. So unless we're, Easy-ing the brand new Kid Gohan and Piccolo exchange, it's got to be these guys, right? No shot at anybody else. I'm saying 100% on this too. Alright, now you guys saw I put in a father-son Kamehameha as the Part 2 Carnival. Now, there's going to be something. I'm going to leave this blank because I want some engagement from you guys, and plus I'm kind of stumped. But one thing I think will for sure happen is going to be the first Super Easy A of the celebration. Tech Perfect Cell. Now, looking back, this guy is the next guy in line to get a Super Easy A in the first place. And I have a lot of fond memories with this guy. It would just make a lot of sense. Put this guy up. Now, fitting him somewhere on a team for this celebration, I'm not sure that's going to happen, depending on what leader skill is what. I also think that with this balance, like this LR being a carnival and getting a Super Easy A, we're kind of left in limbo with the third slot. So I actually think this is going to be a no-name free-to-play. I want you guys to kind of engage and kind of tell me what you guys think this would be. You know, maybe you guys think that this is not going to be the selection at all, and it could be something else. But I kind of wanted to pick your brains apart and see what you guys come with that. I did have an honorable mention that could be for this. Last year we did see LR Prime Battle Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, get his Super Easy A. I think it is possible that they could do something like that as well. They could Super Easy A Extreme Int Super Saiyan Vegeta. You know, I don't think it's high on the mark. I don't think it's 100%, you know, but I think it could happen. You know, just more hype, more stuff to do, more stuff to grind. You know, let me know what you think. So now that we're moving from Android / Cell Saga, let's come down to Majin Buu Saga. Now, first thing I want to mention, this guy right here is our Dokkan Fest for part 1. So what does that tell you? I think 100% without a doubt, one of these slots has got to be the banner unit. Now, this banner unit could be far in between a bunch of crazy stuff. I saw online people were saying Kabito Kai, you know, Angel Vegeta. I don't think it'll be an Angel Vegeta simply because Vegeta's going to be in this card as the tag. But we're going to get a banner unit. So one of these 4 slots will be a banner unit. 100% without a doubt. Now, the next thing that I think's coming and would make the most sense for this team and what we got going on in the theme, we're going to get Super Easy A, AGL, Super Vegito, and Super Easy A in Buhan. These guys are kind of like a dyad. They've come out around the same time, have similar leader skills. I think it's just time to do it. You know, they fought each other. It's just time to do it. It's time to do it. If we're not going to get an LR Buhan right now, I mean, we kind of already have one. It's definitely time to Super Easy A these two guys. It makes the most sense. This guy's going to go on Vegito's team, and he'll be the partner to him. You know, I think that's how it's going to break down. They could just go all super class if they really wanted to, but I think it would be wiser to give us villains some love and kind of spread it around. Now, with this final slot, I think this is also going to be another free-to-play unit. I've sat down and thought a lot about it. There are a lot of things that it could be, but I'm kind of unsure, and I wanted some engagement on this as well. So, we've got our boy, Gogeta. Now, this next part is going to be mad, crazy, controversial, but hopefully what I'm saying makes sense to you, right? Now, Gogeta's going to be our other Dokkan Fest for part 2. What does that tell you? That tells you we're going to get another banner unit. 100%. Without a doubt. Happens every time. This cannot fail. What it is, I think it could be a Pycon. It could be a Pycon. Or maybe a you know, out of nowhere, a banner unit Janemba. But I think 100% this has to be a banner unit, right? Now, remember the theme. Alright? It's got to be a strongest duo. So, you know, there was a time where I thought maybe that this part 2 could not be Gogeta, especially since we just got one for last year anniversary. Surely it's not the same. It's not Dragon Ball Super, obviously, but still. The original draft I had was going to be Super Easy A Year 1 Gogeta and Super Easy A Year 1 Janemba. I mean, it's the same thing as this. There are 2 in a dyad. They perfectly go together, and it would just make sense. But If Gogeta is going to be our Dokkan Fest, these guys both can't Super EZA. One of them has to. And I think out of the two, STR Gogeta makes the most sense to Super EZA alongside this guy for his team. And probably vice versa for this guy, depending on what the leader skills are. So, I've had to kill my child. I've had to get rid of the Int Janemba idea and put in a banner unit. Now, it could be a banner unit Janemba. I think it would be more likely to get like a Pycon or something. But at least, you know, go on the team, whether it's like Otherworld Warriors or something like that. But, you know, I think this is how it's going to turn out. I think we're going to get a Super EZA, Gogeta, and a Mystery Banner unit. So, moving on past that. We're almost there, guys, I promise. We've got our Carnival Vegeta. We've got our Carnival Trio, right? Now, what I said earlier, we're going to get our Year 7 Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, right? You can't have him without Year 7 Blue Gogeta. Specifically the gods. These guys are definitely going to get their EZA during this celebration alongside the Gogeta Super Saiyan 4. It makes the most sense. It takes up a slot, right? Now, it leaves me again with another free-to-play slot unit. Because per the images, it leaves a weird imbalance, right? There was a time where I thought possibly per the theme where we could get an LR Kefla, actually. And I think it could fit here, but I had to think to myself, could Kefla really be a 10-year anniversary LR? You know, it's go big or go home. I feel like she's not as a safe pick as they could pick, right? Now, it could make sense, though. If you had Kefla, for example, as the Dokkan Fest, right? Then you could have her banner unit here, and then the gods Yang. Boom, 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 boom. That sets up the 4. In turn, we could get another Carnival Gogeta somehow, or a non-Gogeta LR right here, and then you get your Janemba, you know, back where he's supposed to be with Gogeta. So, you know, there were a couple different ideas and concepts that I had working around, but I feel like if the Kefla idea is too weak, then this is most likely what would happen. Generally, I feel like this is what is going to happen. You know, I'm rooting for Kefla. If we get an LR Kefla, we could get an EZA. Well, no, we probably wouldn't get EZA Tech Kale and Caulifla, but, you know, you get the gist. There's extra places where stuff would get shifted around, but I ultimately think that this is our Year 10 roadmap. Whatever is right and wrong, I know that this year is going to be packed. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be something that we don't expect, and I think we're going to have a good time. But yeah, I think you guys should definitely jump down in the comments or shoot me a text. Tell me what you guys think about these missing units. Tell me what you think about my picks. Do you think that these are going to be our 3 headliners? Do you think we're going to get a Gogeta with the same mechanic? Do you guys feel like, you know, Kid Goku is going to be free to play, or is he going to be a summonable? You know, chat with me. Let me know. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I've got a ton of shorts showing me running through events. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, you just let me know down below, and I'll get back to you. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time.